when we last left our listeners, we had that whole debate going on in social media. Kyrie calling out the team, lots of negative press there. And then he goes and calls LeBron, and here we stand now with the team really kind of snapping out of it. Kyrie apologizing. And while he's scoring tons of buckets, and definitely the crucial ones at poignant moments in the game or important moments in the game, and he is still getting up the assists, still involving the teammates. He may be doing a lot of ISO, but it's still not quite the Isaiah Thomas or Paul Pierce pre-KG and Ray level that was sort of concerning me at certain moments of the season, nor was it something where he was deferring so much that other players just weren't able to knock down shots was really causing the team some wins. We're obviously recording this right after the Miami game. The third quarter was fire, but the bench unit struggling, whereas the bench unit had been a big, big part of the Toronto sort of light your fire and walk away with the win. So a pretty interesting week all around. Still not confident in the consistency, but I think at this point we realized we're going to have to live with Kyrie asserting himself night in, night out. And I suppose there's a debate to be had there about what kind of toll that's going to take.
Well, yeah, I think that's right. I think that there's nights when you're going to need this. We're seeing right now James Harden and what he's doing in Houston. Personally, I don't think that's sustainable. And I don't think that I don't think that's what's happening here in Boston. But Kyrie is clearly the team's best player. He's clearly the player who stirs the drink, as the old as that old saying goes. And I think he is actually, I think, he's playing the right level. I think he's passing when he needs to pass. He's shooting when he needs to shoot. It doesn't feel as disjointed as I think we saw at times earlier in the season, where it seemed like it was kind of all or nothing. Now it seems like there's a nice mix. I mean, he was responsible for either an assist to or scoring himself the Celtics' last 25 points against Toronto. I mean, when you can do that, that's and obviously a lot of that was
trade
scoring.
Kyrie.
A lot of it was
trade Kyrie.
Exactly. We're hearing that stuff. It's insane, and look, he's a great player. He is a winning player. I think this 4-game trip should prove that, or 4-game homestand as it is. And now the question is, can they sustain it? That's what it's going to be from here on out. Can they take this and run it out? And they've got one more game, before the Golden State game. You're looking ahead here. And then you can say they've won 5 in a row. 5 in a row, you play Golden State, you play them tough. Then you got Brooklyn and then Charlotte. So if they can they need to be playing 700 basketball. That's kind of what I'm looking for out of them. I'm looking for them to have a sustained run here over a period of time where they show that they can tie up a lot of wins, show that they can play consistently. It's not so much I care about them getting wins and getting to a certain level, but what I want to see them do is have a style of play that they can rely upon and go back to. I think that's really what we're looking for. It's not really so much of, we lost, this many, we won this. No. It's about is this team a team you can rely upon? And we saw I think prior to a week ago, we wouldn't know from night to night. I think over this past week, we've seen much more of that consistent effort, and hopefully some of that backbiting, some of that talk about who's not doing what, and that kind of all being washed out last week with Kyrie calling LeBron and whatever. But also an important point here this hasn't got enough credit. Jaylen Brown saying, "Look, enough. We got to come together." And after that, it seems things changed. I don't know if other things were going on in the locker room, but after Jaylen Brown kind of stood up in front of those cameras and said, hey, after a loss, mind you, a game when they should beat the Brooklyn Nets, he stood up in that locker room and said, look, we got to get together. We got to pull together. And they did.